Are you looking for a suburb of Kansas City that has a lot of charm and a cute downtown, cute kind of historic downtown, and also has some amazing lakes and some amazing schools, lots of things to do outside? Well, you know what? I have the perfect one for you. It's Lee Summit, Missouri. So stick around. I want to tell you all about it. My name is Julie Spaulding. I sell real estate here in the Kansas City market. If you are looking to move to the area, I make these videos to help you figure out where you want to live. So today we are talking about Lee Summit, Missouri. So where is Lee Summit located? So Lee Summit is located just south and east of downtown Kansas City. It's 20 miles from downtown Kansas City to downtown Lee Summit. Now, of course, Lee Summit is around 117 square miles, so depending on where you go, it's gonna take you a little bit longer than that, but 20 miles is a good gauge to just figure out how far it is from downtown. You're real close to the stadiums too, if you're wanting to go to any of the Chiefs games. There are about 100,000 people, a little over 100,000 people that live in Lee Summit proper. It is actually in Jackson County. Most of it is in Jackson County, but it also, part of Lee Summit is in Clay County. It's a nice sized city that feels small and hometown, but also has all the amenity of something a little bit larger. So let's start in the heart of the city of downtown Lee Summit. So this area they have revitalized. They've even been recognized as one of the top 10 main streets in the United States. So amazing. They've spent a lot of time revitalizing it. When you get there, you kind of feel like you're in a different time warp or you're in a different time. They have all these vintage lights outside. And as you're kind of strolling through town, you'll find, I think, over 40 restaurants and shops and little boutiques and coffee shops and those types of things. So it's one of those places you just want to go and walk around and hang out on a Saturday or a Sunday and just enjoy it, spend some time. There's lots of little places where you can sit outside and you can eat. There's a nice museum down there. If you're interested in kind of the history of Lee Summit, that gives you a great opportunity to look around there as well. One of the amazing things I think about Lee Summit are all of the lakes around Lee Summit. Seriously, it is surrounded on all sides by lakes. How amazing is that? And got lots of trees and other recreational areas, lots of parks and trails. So lots of things to do outside. Lee Summit has over 30 lakes, like 930 acres of fishing, boating, and other water activities. Now that doesn't even count what's outside of Lee Summit. Within Lee Summit proper, we have Lakewood, which I've talked about in another video. It's a lake community that's been around for quite a while. Beautiful, beautiful lake community. There's another one that's also closer to downtown, and that's Prairie Lee Lake. And that also is an opportunity to live, right on the lake and have a dock there. And then a little bit further south within Lee Summit is Raintree Lake. And again, beautiful homes down there. You don't have a dock right on the lake, but you definitely have it in your backyard, and they have a marina where you can store your boats. So those are the lakes kind of within, but around Lee Summit, in addition to the ones that are in there, you also have Blue Springs Lake and Lake Jacomo up north, and those are actually Jackson County lakes. There are opportunities to get out there, take your boat out there, go fishing, go boating. So lots of good lake activity over there. And then if you go a little bit further south on the east side of Lee Summit, you have Lake Lotawana. Now, Lake Lotawana is not actually in the county lines of Lee Summit. However, it does feed, anybody who lives at Lake Lotawana feeds into the Lee Summit schools. So again, Lake Lotawana is an amazing lake. A lot of people like it because you can ski on that lake. You can have tube on that lake and go fast, right? You don't just have to, I call it tootling around. Another one, if we're just kind of going around and going south, is Lake Winnebago. That's right next to Raintree Lake. It's its own city, kind of like Lake Lotawana, but it also feeds into Lee Summit schools. And that lake, again, is one that you can ski on. So a lot of people like that. You can have your boat right there on your dock, right there by your house. And it's a nice opportunity to kind of be on one of those lakes if you want some of that, more of that lake activity. And then there's Raintree Lake right next to it. And then on the west side, the Lee Summit line backs right up to Longview Lake, which is another lake that has a little marina, but it's also just one that you can kind of get out on and fish, take your pontoon boat out there, go paddle boarding. They have lots of activities there at Longview, at the lake and around the park. So lots of activities that you can do there as well. So if you are looking for a lake, you will not be disappointed around Lee Summit. Another thing about Lee Summit, if we're talking about lakes, is that in my mind, it's like 20 or 30 or 40 minutes closer to Lake of the Ozarks, to Truman Lake, to Warsaw, to any of those lakes that are a little bit further into Missouri that people love to go to. It's right on 50 Highway. And so you're just even closer to even bigger and more lakes. So if you like to fish, you should check out Lee Summit. So let's leave the best for last, and that is the Lee Summit Schools. Again, they are nationally recognized, top among the schools around the metro area. The school district itself, like I said, pulls in from, of course, Lee Summit, but also pulls in from Lake Lotawana, pulls in from Greenwood, Lake Winnebago, a little bit of some unincorporated area in Jackson. They have around 18,000 students in the school district, and they have 18 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, 3 high schools. They cover the gamut from early education all the way up into kind of like maybe students who have graduated and need some additional assistance. They have gifted programs, they have special ed programs, they have a tech program. You are covered with the Lee Summit School District and what they have to offer for their students and parents. It's a good community that lots of parent involvement. So definitely check out more about the Lee Summit Schools if that's an area that you're interested in living in. If you are looking to move to Kansas City and you want more information on Lee Summit or some of these other areas, download my relocation guide. You will not be disappointed. It has lots of great information, links to schools, links to all the activities that are going on around the metro. It's a free download for you to take, interactive pages. So take a look at that. And if you are looking to move to Kansas City in the area, give me a call. I'd love to help you out, show you around, show you the different things that are available to you. And remember, you deserve to love where you live.